when I'm actively needing to be able to like tell my story, it makes me ask, is the story I'm living one worth telling?
The screws on this lens mount keep coming loose and it like wiggles and puts the lens out of focus. It's really frustrating and I'm sick of tightening them up and I don't have any Loctite on me, but I'm gonna solve the problem today with some epoxy. We're just gonna solve this once and for all. And just like that, we've got a nice snug fit back on the A7S and no wiggle. This is actually super frustrating because I use this lens for night time lapses, and one of my night time lapses was completely ruined shooting on the Slacklife series because the lens bolts had like wiggled off and I couldn't tell, and so the lens was just like sitting half sideways. So frustrating. Now that will never happen again. Well, friend, welcome here to life on the left coast. It's kind of a foggy, wet, rainy day. My name's Levi. I'm an adventure filmmaker from here in BC, and this is my daily vlog, and I'm super thankful to have you along. Today's kind of just been a bit of a slow day. Spent a lot of it behind a computer, and I actually got a really interesting email in response to the video I sent out today. And it got me thinking, is doing any of this actually worth it right now? Or should I focus on building the business and just talk about how I got there later? That's one thing I've definitely thought about before, and I'm continuing to think about it even as, you know, we move into this new year and I'm trying to make this year a huge success. So I'm gonna talk about that today. I just drove down here to Surrey. I had a hard drive that I was borrowing from someone that had some footage on it, but today has gotten away from me. It is like dark out now. Look at that. It's super dark out. Now I have to drive home in the rush hour traffic from Surrey. I live like an hour away from here. This is gonna be fun. I finally made it back here to Chilliwack. It's been like raining all day, and it's pretty crazy to see how much the snow has all just melted. It's kind of sad. It looked so much more pretty before it melted.
So I wanted to talk about an email that I got today that got me thinking about the changing landscape of media creation and what does it mean to be growing a business in this day and age, like a business right now, not a business 10 years from now, not a business 10 years previous, but a business today. And what does that mean? And what does that look like? Yeah, I just kind of want to share some of my thoughts with you. I got this email in, and I'm not going to share who it's from because I didn't ask their permission. But they're essentially just saying, is all this effort that you're putting into the vlog and things like that, is that taking away from actually building the business? And I think in certain cases, It would. I definitely think, if it was taking away from the work that needed to get done, then definitely. But there's an interesting thing happening here where, well, there's a few things, and I'll try to explain my thought process on it. For one, the idea of like building a business, and then once you get there, looking back and saying, "Hey guys, like this is how I did it." Those stories for me, like as inspiring as they can be sometimes, it's really hard not to write it off to like special circumstance or like certain events that happened that just worked for them. And that's one of the big reasons why I want to share the entire journey, or at least when I realized that I wanted to. And that's why I want to share the entire journey of building Leftcoast Media House into what I see it could be. I want to share that entire process because I think that could be more inspiring when we end up at what we're going to build. And I look at circumstance of present day, and I know it's not going to look like this a decade from now. And I want to share that process. That's like really important to me because people that have gone before me and shared while they were growing or during their experience with that always meant so much to me. And a huge reason why I do what I want to do is I want to inspire people to do more with their life. I want to inspire people to both live and tell better stories. And that's where, by creating and sharing along the process, that really helps me keep centered on the why behind what I'm doing. I also think it makes really good business sense for the direction that I'm heading. Certain facets of what I'm trying to do are very personality brand driven. I'm trying to build a direct relationship with people like yourself. And that's not as easy to do if you're just like so-and-so company, and that's the front-facing aspect of what it is. Like, this is, this company. There's been certain brands throughout the years that have done amazing jobs of like building immense trust with people that enjoy what they make. But for me, I really see the easiest way to achieve both the products that I want to one day make and the business that I want to grow, seeing that as like a personality-driven thing is essentially the easiest way to make this feel real and to have it actually be something that I enjoy, because I want to equip people to tell better stories. And the best way to do that is to learn what are the questions they actually have about stories, and then to go about the process of creating solutions for those questions and then delivering them. That's a component of what I want to do. I want to teach people how to tell better stories. And that's something that I'm really passionate about. And I can't do that if I don't have a group of people that I'm listening to. By sharing this process of growing the business, I'm essentially saying, who wants to be involved in watching this unfold? And those people that choose to be involved in that, I am like listening to what they're saying, because one day I want to make something for them that's incredibly helpful in the form of a product. I also want to just like help them straight up, because I get so much joy out of doing that. It just brings me a lot of fulfillment to make something like a tutorial or anything where someone sends me an email and goes like, "Man, this is super helpful, thank you." That brings me so much joy. That's why I say so much that I love getting emails back from people, especially just because it's so rad to hear how the things that we make can impact people. So that's the balance that I'm constantly riding with this sharing stuff. Is it going to be this like feedback loop where I'm kind of stuck in a loop and I'm spending more time on just like creating and sharing and not actually building the business? And that's a risk that I'm running for sure. But one thing that I've noticed, and it's actually the reason why I guess about 2 years ago I started making videos like this even in the first place, and that was because it helps me be more productive, and it helps me make sure that the life I'm living is actually the one that I want to be living. When I'm actively needing to be able to like tell my story, it makes me ask, is the story I'm living one worth telling? If what I'm documenting in my life is not the life I want to be living, that becomes painfully obvious really quick when I have to make videos about it. And you can't really fake that for too long before you start going like, man, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? So doing videos like this really helps me, I feel, stay on track. And I think it's gonna act as almost like just throwing fuel on the fire to help this move along in a lot more exciting and fast-paced way. It's going to be really exciting to be able to look back on now and go, wow, like that's where we came from. And when there's like multiple people working with Leftcoast and we have like a team and we have like a studio, like a real one, not just one in our basement suite, that's going to be really cool. I'm just really excited to share the entire journey there as best I can. Okay, friend. So I want to hear from you if you've watched the video till now. And I just want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Kind of what are you thinking about this stuff? And what do you think would be most beneficial for me to share in the future? Like what process about this do you find the most interesting? I'm not really sure because there's so many components. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate having you along. It's super rad. If you think I've earned it, I'd love to send you the videos early to your inbox. When I finish them, I upload them unlisted to YouTube and I send those out to the newsletter so they get to watch them first. If you want to be part of the early crew, head over to leftcoast.co/TV and hit that big green subscribe button and I'll send you the videos. It's pretty rad. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, life's better when you make stuff.